Welcome back everyone to Seiya no Yuta, the read-through. Last time Fuminori's kind of decided to become a monster instead of rejecting Saya after finding out her true identity. Though he hasn't seen her yet, so we don't know how that would affect it if he ever does see her. And now he's just embracing a monster's side. He's manipulating Koji to use him to help for his search for Saya's father. Probably not a real father, but quote unquote father. And yeah. Also, if you're watching this as it's being uploaded, I probably won't be able to record any more episodes this week just because this weekend's super busy throughout the whole weekend, so I only have time for this one recording session, so sorry about that. And if you're watching this in the future, it probably won't matter since it'll all be complete anyways. So let's get right into this. It looks like we're in Yo's perspective. Yo finds herself sitting alone in the cafeteria, searching for a familiar face as her lunch cools on the table in front of her. Right, she was supposed to meet Koji, but obviously Koji is now driving Fuminori. It's not as though she and Koji planned to meet, and it wouldn't be all unusual for him to have another engagement. When he hadn't been able to show up in the past, Omi and Fuminori would pick up the slack. But neither Omi nor Fuminori is here anymore. Yo puts down her chopsticks, her appetite ruined by the lack of company, and even more so by the anxiety eating at her. She knows that Omi's absence isn't because of some illness or unavoidable business. She doesn't know why Fuminori suddenly turned against her. If Koji were here, she could count on him to distract her from her worries with some idle conversation. Now that she's all by herself, Yo becomes keenly aware of how little tolerance she has for loneliness. She begins to feel paranoid, like the world itself is plotting to steal everything from her. What exactly is going on here? Where has Omi gone? Is Fuminori really uninvolved? Or is he the key to this mystery, like Koji and Dr. Tambo suspect? Yo will never forget what happened last Thursday. Alone and without an outlet for her pain after Fuminori verbally eviscerated her, Yo had been lucky enough to catch sight of Koji. Concerned, he had listened to her, and although he could hardly make her problem go away, his kindness had comforted her. At the same time, Omi had been on her way to Fuminori's house, and she hasn't been heard from since. Yo has only been aware of Fuminori's connection to Omi's disappearance since yesterday, when the truth had been revealed during their visit to the T University Hospital. What if Yo considers a new possibility, trying to find the answer to the question, why did Omi suddenly decide to go to Fuminori's house? What if it hadn't been a coincidence that Yo had run into Koji that day? What if Koji and Omi both knew what happened between her and Fuminori and had decided to act separately? Omi might have seen the confrontation in the courtyard. She might have been eavesdropping. It's not unthinkable. Hold on one second. Okay. As the ideas form in her mind, Yo feels as though something is tearing apart her body from the inside. It's only a possibility, but if it's true, then whatever happened to Omi is Yo's responsibility too, isn't it? I mean, she's right on about what happened. I don't know if it would be her responsibility. It's pretty much Omi's, and maybe Fuminori's, but not Yo's. Yo clutches her head, groaning in agony. food she brought out of her tray is now cold. Not that she would have eaten it anyway. Despite the frustration and anxiety tormenting her, Yo is unable to act on her own. She has never been very flexible, nor is she known for her sharp intuition. She hasn't the slightest idea how to respond to this situation. If Omi were here, she would probably tell Yo to think positive and trust her instincts. Yo has always depended on her best friend's energy. Now that Omi is gone, Yo realizes just how weak and useless she is. Powerless to stop herself, she can only sink deeper and deeper into a vicious cycle of self-loathing. The sudden sound of her phone ringing is what pulls her back from the brink of despair. It's a text message. There's no title, and the sender is... Yo cries out in shock. The message itself, however, is even more baffling. Okay, so this is obviously Saya doing this. Question is this like part of a master plan for Fuminori? That Fuminori and Saya had concocted to get rid of Yo and Koji because they're suspicious? Or is Saya just acting out alone? For some reason I think it's also part of Fuminori's plan since I did raise suspicion that he's taking him to an abandoned house too, so this could get messy. I don't know if I read that. Well, it was on screen anyways. My bad. The message bears no trace of Omi's personality, but Yo can't deny that it was sent from Omi's phone. Well, she's missing, so it's not... Like, this is super sketchy. I would not follow through. Obviously, she will follow through on it because it's a novel, but still. She takes a deep breath to calm herself before typing her reply, taking care that excitement doesn't cause her fingers to slip. Is that you, Omi-chan? Where are you? Yo presses send. The screen shows that her message was received successfully. She waits for a reply, her mind fills with questions. Is someone else using Omi's phone to send text messages? If so, why to her? Something suddenly occurs to her. She and Omi have exchanged countless messages, many of which contain the sort of embarrassing confessions that close female friends share. At times, when her hidden feelings for Fuminori grew too strong to contain, Yo often puts them into words for Omi to read. Okay, so this also would support that Saya is acting independently since she's probably snooping through the phone and she finds all these love messages for Fuminori. So, I mean, it might not even be negative. Maybe, like, obviously Saya could kill her and maybe that they will try to talk. I think it's more likely for... Actually, I don't know. I'm kind of seeing Saya in a better light recently, so I can't just say that it's more likely for her to kill her from jealousy. Because I don't know if that's even Saya's personality at this point. But yeah, let's continue on. Did Omi put a password on her phone? Even if she had, the person who sent the message was obviously able to unlock it, which means that whoever it is has full access to the messages that she and Omi have sent to each other. Do you want to know about Sakisata Fuminori? Yo reads the strange message one more time. Whoever sent it must believe that Yo has an interest in Fuminori. The phone suddenly rings again, startling Yo, but she quickly recovers and looks at the screen. There's no title, and the sender is still Takahata Omi. I'll tell you everything when we meet. Come alone. Tell no one. See, this is kind of sketchy, but... Like, it seems like she's not a killer, but for some reason I still have a doubt about that. Because the tell no one could also, like, just mean that she doesn't want to reveal herself to other people. I'm gonna bet on not kill. Just a random guess though. For some reason. I think Saya's becoming nicer while Fuminori's becoming more evil, I guess, quote unquote evil. It's not Omi. She would never try to scare Yo with such a mean-spirited prank. Anxiety has brought Yo almost to tears. Her mind isn't made to deal with such an incomprehensible situation. Who is using Omi's phone and promising to reveal Fuminori's secret? Who is it? Yo is helpless on her own. She desperately wants advice from Toji. From anyone. She even starts to dial Toji's cell. But a sudden suspicion stops her. Sender might be somewhere nearby, watching her at this very moment. A cold chill runs down her spine as she looks furtively around the cafeteria. Come alone, tell no one. The lifeless characters on the screen are like a knife against her throat. Yeah, it's super sketchy. I'm probably wrong. She might be dead. However, Yo clutches her phone and forces her heart to stop pounding. Isn't this cowardice exactly what she was just cursing herself so mercilessly for? Yeah. Doesn't she want to know what she's capable of? Doesn't she want to do more than just sit and wait? Yo realizes that her hand holding the phone is shaking. How easy would it be to just give in to her cowardice, to convince herself that everything, even Omi and Fuminori, is beyond reach? That is what she truly wants. Even if it means abandoning all sense of dignity or loyalty, she wants to flee from the unknowable. However, she also knows that even escape is beyond her. Yo understands herself well. She knows that, no matter how far she runs, regret and self-loathing will consume her after everything has fallen to pieces. In the end, Yo is unable to overcome her cowardice alone. She lacks both the willpower and the courage to run. The silence of the afternoon neighborhood seems somehow forbidding. A stink is in the air, as though someone's garbage has been left out for a long time. Even this perfectly normal residential area appears ominous to Yo in her current state. She feels like she's standing in the middle of a ghost town, where everyone in the surrounding houses has died. Yo pushes her fear aside and presses the buzzer on the Sakisaka house's front gate. She didn't see Fuminori in class today. Is he at home? He couldn't be the one who sent those awful messages, could he? She doesn't even want to consider the possibility, so she forces the unwelcome thought from her mind. There's no response from the intercom. Yo doesn't know, of course, that Omi stood in the same place 1 week ago, staring at the silent intercom with the same confusion that Yo is experiencing now. Hopefully if it gets too spooky in there, unlike Omi, Yo will actually just run away. And that's the phone, I'm gonna answer that, my bad. Sorry about that. Just some spam messages. Guess that's what comes with getting a home phone. Even though we don't even use it. I read this right. Yes, I did. Yo, however, is not forced to wait as Omi was. Ah. The phone in her pocket suddenly rings, catching her completely off guard. It's another untitled text message from Omi's phone. Come in. The door is open. Don't do it. Just run. Oh no. Searching fearfully for her observer, Yo spots movement out of the corner of her eye. On the second floor of the Sakisaka house, a tightly drawn window curtain just fluttered slightly. The watcher, the person who has been sending messages, is inside the house. Only now does Yo realize that every other window has its storm shutters completely closed. No matter what happens inside, no one will ever know. That's not a good sign. This time, she is nearly overwhelmed by the intense urge to run away and never look back. However, the terror she feels towards the invisible eyes staring at her is many times more powerful. She has nowhere to run. Yo bursts into tears, unable to take one step forward or back. The phone rings again in her hand, as though demanding that she enters the house at once. She steps through the gate, her legs so shaky that they hardly seem connected to her. When she enters the house, an undeniable stench assaults her nostrils. The house is dark, even though it is in the middle of the day. Fuminori must be out, as his shoes are not in the vestibule. However, Yo catches a sight of a different pair of shoes stuffed behind the shoe cupboard. They look familiar, so she pulls them out of the shadows for a closer look. As soon as she recognizes them, her mind tries to desperately find a way to deny reality. I also wonder if Fuminori knows that he ate not Omi, because he did come to the conclusion that he did eat a human before, but I don't know if they actually mentioned if it was Omi or not. Anyways, they are definitely the same as Omi's favorite shoes. Yo has seen her wearing them any number of times. However, that doesn't mean that Omi is here in this house. They might belong to someone entirely different. Excuse me. Someone who bought the same shoes from the same store. There's no way Omi could be here. In a sudden flash of insight, Yo presses the most frequently used speed dial button on the phone still in her tightly clenched fist. The phone dials Omi's number. It takes only a second for the signal to reach the nearest relay station, and then... Oh, that face. Are we gonna get a Saya shot? I'm really wondering if they're actually gonna show Saya. Because the more I read it, the more I think they're just gonna not show her. But they might show her now. This looks like a good if you remember the Koji episode where Fuminori popped up in the background, this is a pretty good shot for a background shot. A familiar melody echoes through the house, the unmistakable sound of Omi's phone. It's coming from the second floor. Someone must still be up there in the room with the moving curtains. Omi's phone only rings for a few moments, and then it stops, as whoever is holding it realizes Yo's intentions. For the first time, Yo feels the definite presence of her formless guide. She gathers her courage and calls out into the house, but there is no response. Whoever it must not want to be seen. Whoever it is must not want to be seen. Ugh. Swallowing hard, Yo walks down the hallway to the staircase. Maybe it's Omi, maybe it's Fuminori. Surely it's just the two of them playing a prank on her. Koji might even be here with them. Yo's mind fills with The comforting images. Whether or not they are possible, she wants to believe in them. Otherwise, she would not be able to take another step.
おみちゃんだよね。咲坂くんだよね。
Just run away, please. Another shot where she can pop from behind. Oh man. As she climbs the stairs one at a time, Yo calls out in a voice choked with tears. When they see her sobbing, they'll probably laugh and make fun of her. Let them. It would be the happiest moment of her life. She just wants this torment to end as quickly as possible. She tries to move faster, but her trembling legs force her to move at an agonizingly slow pace, dragging the crushing silence out even longer. With each second, she begs for her release from this nightmare. Don't word it like that. Aww, her face. So sad. After enduring what seems like an eternity of stillness, Yo finds herself standing in the second-floor hallway. No sound greets her. There's only the gloom, brimming with silent malice.
おみちゃんおみちゃん
She shuffles forward, calling out in a weak voice.
出てきてよ。お願いだよ。こんなのもうやだよ。
The door in front of her is half open. It probably leads to the room that overlooks the front gate. Yo watches helplessly from a corner of her mind as her body, seeming to move on its own violation, slowly opens the door. It used to just be green, right? This is new, or it looks new. I guess they've been painting more now that he's realized things. The room is empty. A damp, stinking air clings to Yo's skin. She is at her limit, unable to take a single step more. Her spirit has been completely crushed. Perhaps her tormentor was waiting for this very moment. Oh, nudity. Ew. Something grabs Yo's arms from behind. Something flexible and strong, like slime-covered rubber. As the things bind her limbs, finger-like appendages tear roughly inside her blouse and force their way inside. Yo screams at the top of her lungs, amazed that she still has the strength to do so. Responding to her distress, primal energy surges through her body as she flails wildly, trying to free herself. However, the grip of the thing behind her remains unbreakable. With the escape impossible, Yo can only scream even louder as something cold and wet slips under her bra and wraps itself around her breasts. Yo is helpless to resist as the invader mercilessly squeezes her breasts and sucks at her nipples, which have gone stiff with fear under the horrifying onslaught. Her ears are filled with the sound of something slimy sliding over her skin and between her breasts. As the loathsome assault on her breasts continue, the unimaginable terror threatens to drive Yo utterly mad. Her throat is already raw with screaming, and now she can't even breathe as she struggles desperately against her attacker. So obviously I was wrong about Saya just wanting to talk. I don't know why she's sexually assaulting Yo, but I guess let's just see. Maybe it's not. Oh, as soon as I talk, maybe I'm wrong. And there's a train. Train break. Water break too. Suddenly the thing releases its grip on her breast and pulls out from under her bra. Maybe it's just one of those girl jokes where, they come behind you and grab your breasts. I don't know if that's a thing. I feel like I've seen that before, but maybe. Yo falls on the floor, unable to support herself on her unresponsive legs. Having used up all the strength that her body has held in reserve, she now feels like a marionette with its strings cut. The creature that just grabbed her from behind is still here, lurking in the dark corner of the room. You can feel it watching her, but she can't bring herself to turn around. Please turn around, I want to see her. She knows full well that seeing it will likely destroy the last vestiges of her sanity. From close by comes the muffled tapping of buttons being pressed. Yo hears a cheerful electronic sound, terribly out of place in this room, and sees the phone in her hand. Blink totally, a new text message has arrived. She is powerless to stop herself from reading the characters on the screen. You're pretty, and your breasts are so soft and big. Your body must be quite useful for tempting males. Okay. Now she has her answer. The message from Omi's phone was sent by the thing that just mauled on Yo's breasts. Yo curls up into a tiny sobbing ball, unable to raise her voice or even move. The creature hiding in the darkness made a burbling sound. Is that a laugh? Yo somehow understands that it's laughing contemptuously at her. That must be how you tried to tempt Fuminori. You tried to steal him from me, didn't you? You thief. More nudity. Oh, there's it. It's not looking good for you. Unlucky, I guess. Something cold seizes Yo's ankle, and then travels slowly up her legs until it has covered her entire lower body. Some primal female instinct tells her exactly what will happen to her now. She will be raped, powerless to resist a fate worse than death. She pleads, stop! She pleads feebly, even though she knows that there will be no hope that the inhuman creature will be merciful. Please, not that. Saya laughs. He hears its bubbling laughter again. The thing is enjoying her sorrow, her despair. Okay, I guess I was giving Saya too much credit. She is pretty. I don't know, she's nice and evil. I guess this is just her jealousy of a teenage girl, I guess. Kinda makes sense. Obviously, it's not good for Yo, though. Yo no longer has the strength to push away the monster on top of her. She is only able to shiver in the revulsion as the cold, slimy thing covers her body. Also, we don't actually see the monster, just because you can't see what's happening. It's just a bunch of, see some tentacles and some censored thing, which might be a tentacle penis thing. Her sight grows dim as her conscience sinks deeper and deeper into a black, swamp-like abyss. Her breasts are toyed with, her nipples are sucked on, and a weight pushes itself between her legs, but it all seems to be happening far away. I won't kill you. The thought, though her mind is now barely functioning, Yo hears a voice whispering to her inside her head. It is the voice of a young girl, sweet and sinister, with the cruel innocence of a child gleefully plucking the wings off of butterflies. Like the side image in the video. That's true. I haven't actually seen anything with wings, so maybe that's what that image is. Instead, I'll let you share in our happiness. Rejoice, Yo. We'll love you to death. Soft voice is a stark contrast to the unyielding strength that drives irresistibly into Yo's core. The pain is sharp and savage, greater than anything she has ever felt before. It should be unbearable, but there's no longer enough left of Yo's mind to even recognize it as pain. Oh. While she stares blankly at the thing slithering deeper and deeper into her body, an idle thought floats through her fading consciousness. I still haven't been kissed, have I? Yes. Well, I think that's a good place to end off the video, even though it's only 30 minutes. So bad things are happening to Yo. I wonder what will happen to her since Sai doesn't plan on killing her. I don't know if she can like infect her, or maybe she'll play with her brain like she did with the other guy. Who knows? Actually, I think that might be a possibility just from judging by her words. Unless there's like a way to like assimilate her, but we haven't seen anything like that, so. And then she can have another friend since she seemed playful but still cruel. So yeah, that was a thing. Thank you for watching. I don't think there will be another video. There might be a possibility for one more, but I definitely won't make 3 video schedule. But yeah, thanks for watching anyways. Hope you enjoy. And leave a comment if you want. I'll be checking. Well, I log in every day anyways. I don't like, so you'd probably get a response in a day's worth at most. Yeah, thank you for watching. It was fun. And I'll see you next time.